Good morning, Rabbi Sai. Somebody just dropped off this amazing fruit platter. I'm not sure who and I'm not sure for what. Can I show you this? Oh, it does say over here?
It has a card.
It doesn't say a person's name. It's a very... No one, timeout. Are you able to see this? Right over here.
Why don't you do the same pose?
Hold on. How do I pull it out? I don't know if I don't want to move it, but for the video...
No, you can see it, they can see it, they can see it.
Oh, here we go. Timeout. Now.
It was good before.
Good morning, Rabbi.
That's crazy. But the problem with this is that it might spoil one day. How do I freeze this?
Slice off that part.
Maybe just drop it on top of our kodesh over there.
Wow. And look at these, hold on, these apples. Crazy stuff. Anyway, this morning as I was about to leave here, I read this email and I'm going to read it to the Olam. I just got it in person. Every line here, basically, you can tell who wrote it. I'm just going to read it. You'll tell me right away. I did cry a little bit. I have to say, I did choke up when I read it for many different reasons. To all the MDY Mishpacha, if you would have asked me 4 months ago where I would be today, I've been the last one to tell you that I would be learning 3 hours daily before I started my workday. I would have said, who has time for that when you're running a company? I know there are many people who want to claim me as their recruit. I'm sure it's a combination of many together. But the one event that gave me the push was the Levi Rabbi Yeshua Kalish 102 days ago. For those who never heard of him, he's a Rebbe Talmud Chacham par excellence and a Marbitz Torah who finished Shas yearly. He was still the most down-to-earth person I ever met. He was my Rebbe in camp, and I had the schus of being his waiter in camp for 2 years. Seeing someone so great and yet such a mensch always made a gigantic impression on me. So at his Levaya, I decided for an Elis Neshama for him, I'll start Daf Yomi. So then after Levaya, to go with inspiration while I was still fresh, I had Daf Chav Ches. I drove to MDY, but got stuck in traffic that made it take an hour to get from Beitar as opposed to the regular 30 minutes. Instead of immediately giving up, I kept on pushing. Driving daily, some people thinking I am crazy. Driving more than 30 minutes in each direction to come daily to the shiur, 7 days a week. I feel the biggest daily accountability is being there in person and people asking where you were if you missed. Besides that, of course, it is enjoyable to participate in the shiur, though I'm a shy type who doesn't speak up much, says Ari Simon himself. I've been learning daily for the last 100 days without missing a day, and I've driven to the shiur every day that I was in the country today. My 101st day has a special significance to me. I will explain. I remember hearing a vart more than 20 years ago. The Shabbat brothers from a chavrusa of mine, Rabbi Yaakov Robinson, who is now a Rav in Chicago. He's very chashuv Rav over there. I recently found that this vart is attributed to Magim Mizrich. He says the word Amalek is really 2 words, Omel Kuf, meaning toiling only 100 times. This is in reference to the famous Gemara Chagiga that says, this is the subject of the email. What's so special about 101st time, you ask? So you read it with a different punctuation. I don't have Yoshi's fancy psukim slides to help here. You can't compare someone who learns it 100 times as a mental exercise to someone who learns it 100 times with the echad of Hashem. Meaning that all his learning is for Hashem. To come closer and have dvekas with Hashem, not just the mental exercise. I mentioned the shir last week from the Akdama to Eglital. There's also pshat in the Mishnah in Pirkei Avos that says, he forgot the echad in there. There are very few people can say they didn't ever forget anything from their learning. Actually, Punkt today, it's a kiss from Hashem. I'm going to show a video of a kid who says he's never forgotten anything that he's ever seen in terms of math, but okay, that's something else. Interesting. Rather, according to what we just said, it means that when someone learns and forgets the echad, meaning Hashem, then that is the Mishnah, that is what the Mishnah is referring to. And this strengthens what Rebbe Kazli says, that even if you only come away with learning one idea every day, it is worth it. Echad. So I threw in the word echad, not him. Since it also brings you closer to Hashem. So today is my 101st day in a row of being part of the MDY family. And I can truly and honestly say that Rebbe is the reason why I'm being Shoyne Pirkei Im HaEchad. How does this all connect to MDY? And this amazing sharing family. Everyone always asks what makes MDY special, and I don't think there's one answer. But if I may humbly suggest that a pshat, many of the competitor Magidi Shurim, even even if they are as geschmack, which they aren't, and even if they explain the Gemara as well, they don't, especially since they don't also have Yoshi and the team backing them up. There's something unique to MDY, the way the rebellion incorporates Musar, pushing us all to be better people, better fathers, husbands, sons, that is infusing the Echad into his Shoyne Pirkei Me'apamim. And that is why it is no surprise that the shir has grown exponentially and will Be'ez Hashem continue to grow and caters to all walks of life. It is people who are thirsty for a closer connection to Hashem. The rebellion enables each and every one of us to gain in his own unique way, and it is pashut to me that decades from now, people look back at rebellion MDY and they'll be able to say with certainty that the reason why there's so much love and geschmack v'Torah at all levels of society all started because of MDY way back then. My brother, this holy chabru is that with the help of rebellion this year, we should all be able to bring ourselves to a closer connection to Hashem, and also convince as many other Yidden as possible to make the life-changing decision to join MDY and be Shoyne Pirkei im ha'echad. Ari Simon, Baba Basra, Daf Mem Hey. Ari, get over here for a second. As I'm tearing up a shtickle, I want you to know.
I brought this.
You're the one that brought it. No.
Why?
Wow. Yishkoyach. I have to tell you, I don't think there's another individual in this year that made such an impact in such a short amount of time as Rabbi Ari Simon. A Talmud Chacham who adds a lot to every shir. He must have donated $1,000 per every day he was here. No. Maybe there's a little bit of a guzma, but he donated a crazy amount of money that you don't even know about. Bilam Shem v'chulu v'chulu. But the impact, the daily impact, Yishkoyach Gadol Ma'oi, thanks for the letter. I'm going to treasure this. Yishkoyach. He told me it took him over an hour to write. Hour and a half. Oh! Mendy! Let me get up for Mendy. Mazel tov for Mendy. Wow, just became a grandfather. Wow. Wow, you can see a lot of nachas. Wow. I wanted to mention it last night and I forgot. Wow. The Simcha Gold also became but he didn't become a grandfather. He had another, this is first grandchild. Maybe it's a shidduch taka. All right. I think I can't do any more emails. Obviously, this is my father's first cousin, Reb Yechiel Stefansky, was nifter. This is when he came to the shir. And I was thinking, they told me he's part of the shir, but even if he wasn't, and even if he isn't, he would have came anyways, just to make me feel good. That was the type of person he was. He came to every simcha, every little thing that the family had. He was a big mishpacha person. His neshama should have a tremendous aliyah. And we miss Shamshi Shlafrak and Yossi Sounders, who bumped into each other in Flatbush. The people you run into Flatbush, he writes over here. And we had a raffle for the Perek, and I believe an American won it. Lachat. Ding ding ding. Chaim Markstein. So wherever you are, you want a family outing, horseback riding outing. That's what it is. The whole family horseback riding. Rabbi said the Masechta sponsored Refuah Shlema for Yosef Chaim Shmuel Ben Alte Nechama from his grateful family. He should have a Refuah Shlema. The Masechta for Hatzlacha Berukhniyos ובגשמיות. The Masechta Ari Cohn in the memory of Yechiel Moshe Ben Chaim who started learning Daf Yomi at age 70 and continued for 32 years until he was nifter. I'm choking up. It's crazy. Wow. The Masechta for the unity of the Jewish people is just me. Because I'm the Maggid Shir.
You're the one with the face on the watermelon.
I need a tissue, damn it.
If Noam's face on the watermelon, he'd also be choking.
Okay. No, he seems like he's here for like 6 years. You know what I mean? It's 100 days. He definitely gave in many haras as most people give in a lifetime in the last 100. Glenn Esterson with love and gratitude, North Carolina. Thank you for enriching my life. Somebody pointed out, I don't want to say who, he says the reason why I love this person, Glenn Esterson from Wilmington, North Carolina, is because Michael Jordan actually grew up in Wilmington, North Carolina. Say, from all the cities in America, punk that city. There's a draw. There's a on the Shomatik draw. For you over there, you don't know who it is. Michal Yarden, who's a chashuv Talmud Chacham. The Parnas HaChodesh. L'inish was Zechariah ben Moshe, l'inish was Chai bas Yosef. Parnas HaChodesh with the chorus HaTov from Anonymous. From Shprintzy Alan Gross, Shelaima Zalman ben Yitchak Isaac, and Binyamin Isaac ben Tzvi Hirsch, Cohn Zechariah Levracha. And Refuah Shelaima for Yohannes and Eitam ben Basheva Bracha. By Leon Welcher for the speedy release from house arrest of Ari Rosenfeld. Aaron ben Hinda, Esther Gittel, and Parnas HaChodesh, Binyamin Rosenfeld, Atzlach and Parnasa. Parnas HaChodesh, Yosef ben Chaim Sorf, Atzlach, Beruknis of Begashmiyos. Koil of the month, sponsored by HYK Ventures, in honor and for the success of all our clients. He's not going to do this again. I like scared him off for life. Parnas HaYoim, Hill Kovacs. Toda l'roife cholim al nituach shani yavor aboker b'atzlacha refuah shleima lehillel ben Chana Rachel Hill Kovacs should have refuah shleima and should go well. Salmon and Weiss families in honor of the wedding of Bella Salmon, New Haven, Connecticut, Tiona Weiss, Sherman Oaks, California. Wow. Should build a base, Nemon B'Yisrael. And Chaim Simcha Meir, Lili Nishmas, my mother, Malko Bas Moshe Shmuel. Parnas HaChodesh for the art, for Schus for Rebellion, the whole MDY staff to continue to make Torah on job of so many, and in honor of Yossi Klein and Mark Ashkenazi for all the work they do. All right, we're holding on Daf Samach Tes Amud Beis. I asked this question a little bit ago, and I asked it twice in the Hebrew shir as well, and I realized that not everybody remembers and holds cup with this stuff. What fruit? Here's a hint. What fruit did Adam Arishon sin with when it came to the Eitz Hadas? The kid. Hold on. Yosef, Bilyak, what's going on over there? What does he say? I heard him scream something. Esrig? Very good. How many people say this?
Christians.
Doilam is listening. A few people in the Hebrew said an apple. Apple is not one of the ones that we know of. We have a fig, we have wheat, grapes, and esrig. That's what we have. The Gemara doesn't bring esrig, but it's another one. Rababah says esrig somewhere else. Huh? Yeah, that's your sheet. Okay. Here's a interesting riddle that some Achronim ask, but I heard it from Rav Yitzchak Zilberstein. How is it possible somebody's chayiv misa? This is worth 143,000 points, this one. Somebody's chayiv misa, and they sing a song, and because they sing a song, he's not chayiv misa anymore. Huh?
Someone who does it and then he's a shaita, he sings like he's a shaita.
There's no shaykhs. He could say something. Because he sings a song, he's part from Misa.
Usually he doesn't listen to this shit.
Okay. Very good. Zokti Gemara. Omer Rav Kahana. We're holding like 12 lines from the bottom of Samach Tes Amud Beis of Rav Kahana. Amritos Shmaita Kamedu Rav Zvid Min Ardo. So just to remind the Olam, we're looking for a source that someone who is only 8 years old could father a child. We brought from Avraham and his brother Haran. It seems like Avraham was older. He's mentioned first in the pasuk, and Haran was like 2 years younger, mentioned third in the pasuk. And Haran was Sarah's father. And the difference in age between Avraham and Sarah is 10 years. And if Haran is 2 years younger than Avraham and Sarah is 10 years younger than Avraham, then it has to be that Haran fathered Sarah at the age of 8. So, the Gemara says that it's not true because it's possible, like we saw over here, that even though this one, where is it? We said that Shem is first in the pasuk, Chum is second, Yafes third, and Noach only had Shem when he was 500, and Noach built a teva at 600, so that's a 100-year difference. But then it says that 2 years after the Mabul, Shem had a son called Arpachshad, so that's 102 years after the Mabul, because it's 2 years after the Mabul, and Shem was born 100 years before the Mabul, so 102. But why does the Torah say 100? So we must say that what happened was Shem was actually born where Yefes was born, and that's why it's exactly 100 years after he was born. He was born 2 years. In other words, Noach was 502 when he was born, and 100 years after that, Arpachshad was born. So it fits in well. Even though the pasuk says Shem first, Shem was actually the youngest. It just goes by Chachma. So now the Gemara says, I have a different source that Shem was the youngest, or that Yefes was the oldest, because it says, Omar li atum we have a different source. So Shem yulagam hu aviv kol bnei Ever achi Yefes hagadol. Yefes hagadol shebe'achav. It says in the pasuk that Yefes was the oldest. Fine. Element Olam. How do we know that someone can father a child when he's 8 years old? Mehacha. So we have a very, very similar calculation that we had yesterday. Ubetzalel ben Uri ben Chur lemati Yehuda. It says that Betzalel was the son of Chur, here, Uri, who was the son of Chur. Here it is. So Betzalel is the grandson of Chur, a great-grandson of Kalev. Now, all we're going to try to do is show that Betzalel, that Kalev was 26 years old when Betzalel was born. The difference between Betzalel and Kalev, his great-grandfather, is a 26-year difference. And if it's a 26-year difference, that means 3 generations were born in 26 years. The way to do that is to divide them by 8. In other words, 8 plus a year for the pregnancy. And yesterday after Shir, Ari Simon came over to me and asked me a question, which I should have seen in Taisus. Taisus asked the question. Taisus just says that, you don't need a full 8 months for a pregnancy. Rashi says you need 8 months because you need 30 days of Tahara. But Taisus says that's only if the same woman is giving birth 3 times. So you need in between each pregnancy there, but it's 3 different women. It's 3 different generations. So he says what Rashi's trying to say is, loy duck. We're not going to go by the day. Give a little bit of a, so extra month here, there. Akopanim, the way to do it is to divide it by 8, and these are all men. The other day we had the same thing, the same cheshbon, but one of them was Basheva, and she's a girl, so it's possible she gave birth less than 8 years, and maybe the boys are more than 8 years, and they ruined our cheshbon. But here they're all boys, Kalev, Chur, and Uri. Says the Gemara. So you see, the Chur is the grandfather of Betzalel. How old was Betzalel when he made the Mishkan? Bar Tleisar, he was 13. So I just wanted to share with you, I could prove, some people ask the question, like, how's it shaykh that a guy, that the kid, 13 years old, he has that much talent that he's able to build a Mishkan? So I want to show you here, from within MDY, we also have, it's called like a baby genius. Here's like a 1-year-old, I don't know how old, mamish a baby genius.
Just got a front.
Oh, hold on. You missed the video. Here, watch again. These are his first words. Good morning, Rabbi. Genius. Where are we?
Go back to the
I was all excited to show this video and you ruined it for me. Oh, I missed this. Azuva. Miriam, Eishes Kalev, Vayikach loy Kalev Esefros, Batei loy Schur. This I did. V'chiyova Betzalel Mishkan Bar Kama Havi Bar Tleisai. D'chsiv Ish Melachto Yasher Hei Moisim. I also want to share with you this video. It's about a minute long. The point over here is that this 8-year-old kid goes to university with all math geniuses, and he's the number 1 in his class. At 8 years old, scores the highest scores. Mamish a genius. Here, you'll see what a genius he is. And he did the entire high school math program in 2 weeks. Hold on.
In a moment, you'll meet Jake, a 13-year-old math and science prodigy.
Hold on. I just want to say that there's something called tissue that we don't understand. It's on a different level.
Established theories of physics. What is it about Jake Barnett that had him taking college courses at age 8 and getting A's, and by 12 doing paid scientific research? And today, at age 13, an honors college sophomore lecturing the crowd.
Let's look at these system of points. This has implications in fiber optics, electromagnetic signals. every number or math problem I ever hear, I have permanently remembered.
You just never forget. They never,
never
slip
forget.
out the back. For Jake, fun is reciting from memory the infinite series of numbers known as pi.
3.14159265358979324592307.
He says his mind is constantly buzzing with new physics problems and theories. When he runs out of wall space, he moves on to Windows. And just to demonstrate that he was ready for college, he taught himself all of high school math in just 2 weeks. He was 10 years old.
Okay, Bekitzer, there's something called genius that we don't. If you come here to the kollel, you could see just 3 of them. They may, not on this level maybe, but there's a guy here that doesn't forget anything he's ever read in learning, literally. So Yerushalmi, Shulchan Aruch, whatever it is, you throw it at him. You don't finish the sentence and he tells you where it is. So there are people that we're not familiar with really, and they're on a different level. I just thought it was interesting because I heard the question asked, like, what, 13? Is it a guzma? No, this is. First year out of Mitzrayim, he built the Mishkan. Shniya, Heiki Mishkan, he put up the Mishkan. B'shalach Meraglim, he sent them Meraglim. And one of the Meraglim was his great-grandfather, Kalev. 40 years. I'm 85. Kama havilu arbaim. 40. Dalar beisa dahavi b'tzal. So you take 40 minus 14 of the age of b'tzal. Pashalu eser mishis. So it turns out the color was 26. Dal tarti shnei detlasi burei. And you take the 2 years for the 3 pregnancies, 7 months each plus a month. So you come out that each father was about 8 years old when they fathered these children. Real quickly, there's an organization in Israel called Arachim, and they do these weekends where they bring non-affiliated Jews to a hotel. They give it to them for almost free, whatever it is, a third of the price, and they have tremendous success. They have 4 programs. They have one like Amami, it's general program. One is more for academia, for people that are the intelligent type, like doctors, lawyers. So it's less emotional. They give them very a lot of logic. Then they have a weekend just for boys and a weekend for girls. So once they ran out of money, and they went to Rabbi Yashiv and they asked Rabbi Yashiv, what program should they run? If they could only do 1 out of the 4, which should they run? What do you think he said? He said that they should do the girl program. Girls, if you could have a hashpana, and they say they have 50% success rate. It doesn't mean that they're becoming mamish, super religious. It means they keep Shabbos, the ikrim. If you could get these girls to not be machshel other people, then it's kedai to do them. So it says over here, Ben v'loy bas, Tanya Omer Reb Shimon, bedinu shtei bas really is keben Sarah Moira. At the end of the day, you should have a seminary, says Noam Fix, if you didn't hear it. Says, I agree. At the end of the day, logically speaking, you have the same issue, if not worse, with a girl, because a girl is not going to go steal like the boy. What she'll do is she'll try to raise money with znus. Ella gzeres hakosavi bein v'loy bas. This halacha of ben Sarah Meir does not apply to a girl; it only applies to a boy. Says the Mishnah, "May mosai chayav mishayochal tartemar." So we have a video here. I didn't even see it yet. I saw the Hebrew one is not bad at all. It's actually very good. Here it says in the on the sign that you could get a tartemar, which is an amount of meat that we're going to show in a second, and a half a lug of Italian wine for 30% off, because that's the halacha. So what they're trying to do is throw in a bunch of halachas into this video. What the Mishnah says.
Give me the business meat.
You shouldn't. You just had your bar mitzvah, and we both know where the money comes from. You'll end up getting stoned. It would be a shame to lose a good customer like you.
But I'm so hungry.
Maybe you could eat at a chavuras mitzvah, or in a sudas ibur chodesh.
Where will I find a chavuras mitzvah now? And Rosh Chodesh is it 2 weeks.
So, you can steal money from Asa Sheni and eat it in Yerushalayim.
It'll take me 2 days to get there. And I'm so hungry.
All that's left in the Mishnah is our Shkatzim V'Ramassim special.
You ruined my appetite. I'm gonna get some pizza.
Hey, give me my lunch back.
Kids, if you eat Shkatzim V'Ramassim, you potter. Shkatzim v'masamil. So says the Mishnah. Mei mosai chayiv mishayochal tartemar. You have to eat a certain amount of meat. We'll describe in a second in the Gemara. It's about 240 grams of meat. And drink practically 300 and something milliliters of a very, very special geschmack Italian wine. All the halachas here are going to show that it never happened, but besides that, the point of the Gemara of the Mishnah is that you should have wine that's addictive, that you become dependent on it and therefore you steal more. Meat that's geschmack to eat. Let's say it's not Italian wine, let's say it's French wine. So you need more. You need more than this chatziloig. The chatziloig is so geschmack, he's going to go after it, he's going to go crazy. Rabbi Yosef Yomer, mana basar v'loig yain. Basically, the Gemara explains, he's doubling the shear. You need 480 grams of mana, and you need a double amount. You need almost a full bottle of wine, what we have today. Here, I'll show you. Actually, I have it right over here. This is 370 milliliters. So that's kimat, the shear, and this is double. You can zoom in on the name of this wine.
That looks huge.
If not,
Make the wine great again.
Yeah.
make the wine great again. Okay. Says the Gemara. If there's any mitzvah going on, he ate, let's say at a bar mitzvah, a wedding, ochal be'ibur hachodesh. They made a seuda to be mefarsim, to, how do you say in English? To publicize that there was the month they did Rosh Chodesh at a certain day. So that's also, by the way, so this mitzvah, I try to remind the Olam sometimes because it's a chiddush in the halacha that the Ramah brings, it's brought in Shulchan Aruch, the Mishnah Berurah brings, that one should make a suda on Rosh Chodesh. And if not, the Mishnah Berurah says, yahrzeits by adding one item. Daf Chaim says you should buy a special fruit. Here, we could save this for Rosh Chodesh. Here's the question. Sudas Rosh Chodesh, does it come off your yearly income? Rosh Hashanah, what if you buy a festa piece of steak? Does it come off? And the answer is no. It's like Shabbos and Yom Tov. That's Suda. So, okay? So here, it's okay. So says here, now here comes the riddle, the Rebbe Zimmerstein's riddle. How's it possible that a person is chayiv misa? The Bezdin says you are chayiv misa. They sing a song and he's potter. The answer is, it's a Ben Sayer Meira who's at a meal on Hanukkah. And if you sing a song, you turn it into a Sudas mitzvah and you become potter. But if you don't sing a song, then it's not a Sudas mitzvah because it's Hanukkah. It's not Yom Tov. So as soon as they say, oh, you're chayiv misa because you just drank wine and ate the meat, he says, oh, he starts singing. Okay. Says the Mishnah, we're not going to go into the whole thing because I'm scared of Jonathan Stefansky and his Purim spiel. So, Meiser Sheni Yerushalayim, from all the fruit that you have, it is what it is. Some people are excited about the Purim spiel, the Rosh Chodesh Purim spiel. He is excited. He's mamish excited. So, if a person has fruit, he has to take 10% and 2% give it to the Cohn, 10% to the Levi, and then on years 1, 2, 4, and 5, you give 10% to yourself. Bring it to Yerushalayim. If you don't have the ability to bring it to Yerushalayim, it's too heavy, so you change it into money, and then you bring the money to Yerushalayim. This kid sees the money, he steals the money, and brings it to Yerushalayim and eats steaks and wine in Yerushalayim. So that's okay. You don't become Ben Sayer Meira over stealing Meister Sheni money. Mamish like in the video, he had a geschmack mouse with trefus, shkotzim v'remasim. Remasim, there was a decent picture over here. Yeah, no, something like that. Where was it? I saw it somewhere. Oh, it's in this thing. Let me just show you. There's a whole, the Yoshi went crazy over here. Where is it? Here, a boy side, check this out. He's eating meat, and then it shows you the 240 grams, 480 grams, Italian. Oh, this is shkotzer mermaz. You see that little bat over there on the plate? That's geschmack. Okay. Now, if you drink beer or potato chips, steal money to buy beer and potato chips, you don't become a sorry murderer. Oh, Alte, they take these lines out because it's not really for meat. It could be a little bit for wine. Oh, Alte, ma'aser rishon shelo nidr shomasi ma'aser sheni v'eged shelo nifdu. Oh, davar shu mitzvah v'davar shu aveira. The Gemara is going to explain it's something that it's a mitzvah, something that's an aveira. Oh, kol machav lo yochal basar. He ate potato chips. He didn't eat meat. Shazik al mashke. He drank beer. He didn't buy wine with it. You don't become a ben sorry mar. Ad sheyochal basar v'yishta yain. What?
If he ate the things that make him a ben soromar, and he added the wrong things.
Oh, the Gemara talks about that. If he ate the meat and then he added like a little bit of a sheketz to it, or let's say chicken to it. So that's he was missing one shear, one kizayis, and he added that. That's the discussion in the Gemara. Shenemar zoylel v'soivei. Bava pishin rayel davar. Zeichel davar. There's a pasuk shenemar altia b'soivei yain. So it says soivei b'zoylei basar lamay. So the question really is, why is this not a raya? It's a beautiful raya. It says in the pasuk the word soiva when it comes to yain and zoyel when it comes to basar. Isn't that exactly what we're talking about? So says Rashi, it is, but it doesn't exclude other foods. It's just giving you an example of the top level of zoyel v'soiva is wine and meat. But maybe potato chips and beer is second level. You also chayiv misa if you eat a lot of it, huh?
We don't learn rayas from.
We do, I know, but we do a lot of times. We do. Here, look, we tell him. There's a lot of we just learned yesterday rayas from. Sometimes we do. How do you know the Kenyan Sudar?
That's showing what a Kenyan Sudar is, but
Okay.
the actual Isser can't come from.
This also shows what wine is. Not Isser. What is soiv? Zoyl b'soiv that the Torah says. Here, soiv. Mamish tells you it's a taich. This is mamish to answer your question. What is yayin? Soiva. I'm sorry. What is zoylo? Basar. It's literally translation in Mishlei. What these words mean. Omar Reb Zera tartei marzei nidemau. I don't know the amount. Ella. But then shekafar Reb Yosi b'yayin. Since Reb Yosi doubled up, he went from a chatzi lug to a lug. Ninsa koifel avibasar, v'ninsa tateimar chatzimona. So we have beautiful pieces here. This is from Benny, Shkoyach Benny. I actually told him the wrong side. I told him to get me 300 and 600, and then when he came to koil, people said, no, it's 240, not 300. So he went back to the store and repacked it, the whole thing. Okay, see, Shkoyach. So these are the amounts. So Rabbi Genechovsky again said, he just said it as a joke. He says, from this is a raya that the Chazon Ish is right when it comes to shiurim, because this is not a shir Chazon Ish. You're going to kill a kid over this. You need a serious steak. Anyway, the Rambam says you have to eat it in one shot. You have to stick the whole thing in your mouth and eat it. So they say it's not how much you eat, but it's how you eat. When you become a mamash a fresa raya, you're shoving it in your mouth like that. That's why this guy has the wrong, he's going in the wrong direction. You have to eat cheap meat. You have to, in other words, not cheap meat, but it has to be, the price in the market has to be on the downside, has to be low. Cheaper wine, Italian wine cheap. Not, $500 a bottle. No, you could get Italian wine for 10 shekel. The siv, zoy leil v'soive. The word zoy leil, you can learn it zoil, cheap. It's in a smach, this is Rashi. It has to be raw, mamish like this. Eat it raw. V'yishte chai, undiluted wine. Eini asked, the Gemara doesn't make any sense. What, did I skip something?
Yeah, the word yain.
Vishte yayin chai. Eini b'Rabbi Yosef Tarvayu ocha basar chai v'shosa yayin chai. Eini nasa ben sorry moyer. This makes a lot of sense. If you eat disgusting meat that's really raw, how's that going to become addictive? You're not. So you don't become. Huh? It's not. Okay. So eini nasa ben sorry moyer. You don't become a sorry moyer. Or Ravina, you're right. Yayin chai mazik v'li mazik. It's diluted and not diluted. He diluted it somewhat, so it's very geschmack, it tastes very good, but it doesn't have the harshness of undiluted wine. Basachai, bashavali bashal, rear meat, but he put it on the grill for a second. Kibasar kiba dachli ganavi, like the robbers, they eat meat that is semi cooked. There's not a lot of okay. I'll say the my side. I haven't said it in a long time. The Hasidim asked the Sat Mirov, what's the definition of a Hasidic story? So he said, I'll tell you a Hasidic story. There was once a gang of robbers, and they divided up their tasks. One half went out to steal, and the other half stayed behind to cook and take care of the cave. So one time they went out to do this huge heist. You're gonna go and steal millions. So the guys doing the heist, they said on the way back, they said, it doesn't make any sense. We just risked our lives. We have millions here. We're gonna split millions with these guys that just made food for us. When they come there, we're gonna kill them. The guys in the cave say, it doesn't make any sense. We're stuck here in a little cave. We can never leave. So they see the city, the whole thing. When they come back, when they bring the millions, if there's millions, we kill them in Shalom Yisrael. So the guys come back and with all the money, and they kill all the chefs and everything, and then they sit down to eat the meal that the chefs prepared, and they all drop dead because there's poison in the food. So Sanhedrin said that's a Chassidus Shemaisa. So Chassidus Shemaisa, why is it Chassidus Shemaisa? I don't see any. So whoever told you that this ever happened, there's nobody to witness it. That's Chassidus Shemaisa. This is the Satmarov said. I didn't say. It's not a little. Rav Yosef Damer Tarvayu. Ochal basar maliach v'shasi yaim megito. If somebody ate salty meat, they used to salt the meat in order to preserve it, and he drank wine right out of the. Somebody just sent me a beautiful video, but I won't show it today, of how you make wine here. And I just you stomp the wine right out of it's fresh. That's not wine that you go crazy over and you get addicted to and you steal and you kill. Not awesome. Erev Tisha B'Av lo yochal adam shnei tavshilim. The Suda right before Tisha B'Av, you shouldn't eat two different foods. V'lo yochal basar v'lo yishte yain. You shouldn't have meat. We eat an egg. You shouldn't eat meat and wine. V'tana. That's not considered meat if it's salty meat and you drink straight out of the barrel. When is it not considered this meat? When is it considered not salty? Shlamim lasts for 2.5 days. 2.5 days. Anything less than that is asur, but after that you're allowed to because it's already starting to spoil. It loses its freshness. Because when it's fermenting, it's like that bubbly stuff. It's so bad. What's the problem with gilui? You leave wine uncovered, and the snakes come. Snakes don't like this either. It's so bad, even a snake doesn't drink it. It's 3 days. What about the Ben Sarim Meir? Says Gemara, when it comes to Tisha B'Av, it's all about being happy. So eating meat brings happiness. Because within the 2.5 days, over here, we're talking about drawing a person to become addicted to it and do crazy things because of it. Just because it has a little salt, he won't become addicted to it. It has to be at least 40 days old in order to develop an addiction. So we have a gishmak. Why is there wine? Maybe less than 3 weeks before Purim. Why is there wine in the world? There's only 2 reasons. To give comfort to the avel. Today they call it, a pill, whatever they give the avelim. And to pay off the Rishonim in this world, should give wine to the Rasha, the Yain, Lemari Nefesh. I said this last year as a public service announcement, and I got a lot of emails. I don't know why. That you have to be very careful on Purim. There's a lot of the roads are one of the most dangerous days of the year with all the drunks out there, and their wives are driving them everywhere. So you got to be very careful. Omer Yitzchak, my dichsiv, Alte yain ki is Adam, Alte yain. Why are you laughing? What's so funny, Mordechai? Nothing. Okay, good. You're not married, that's why you're laughing. Everybody here is scared. They know it's funny, but if they laugh and the wife sees them laughing on camera, oy vavoy. So you're the only guy that's laughing.
I'll have a wife to when I
whatever, okay, it's beside it. The Rasha drinks wine in this world, his face becomes red, but when he gets to Olam Haba, he realizes he has nothing left in his bank account. He used it all up in the bar. His face becomes white. There's a story here, less than 2 weeks ago, here in Bet Shemesh. A guy drank too much, and the cops came to intervene, and he killed himself on the spot. Wine causes some crazy stuff. A nicer example would be drinking and driving. A lot of people die from drinking and driving, and it's caused by wine. You have to be careful not to kill people. Rav Kahana Rami, here there's a, Yoshi did, I don't even know where it is. Here. Alte yayin shachrisi dam, can be mamish, it actually moves. Bar fights, who knows what. Rav Kahana Rami Ksiv Tirosh, if you look at the pasuk, it's said funny, because we read a Tirosh with a Vav, but it's not written with a Vav. What's the pshat? The Karin Tirosh, Zochan Asirosh. Wine, a few people told me, try it, you get a little high. Well, mamish, open up, you're learning, you're vast this, it's geschmack. I hear, Zochan Asirosh. I never took a single puff in my life. It's not that it's a good thing, I don't know. I never tried, I don't want to try. But you could be zoich to be roish. Lo zacha nasa rosh. You become like you find yourself crawling on the floor. Rabbi Ramik Siv, it says in the pasuk yishamach. Bikarini yisamach. It could be a shin, it could be a sin. Zacha mesamchoy. If you zoicha gives you happiness, the wine. Lo zacha mishameyu. Me personally, if I drink, I start crying. I have to go to sleep. It doesn't. I think I'm drunk the whole year, so it takes me over to the next step. So, some people become mishumam, they become empty. Some people's mama's gishmak, they're happy. Wine and a good besamim, takhin opened up my mind. Here, this is Rava saying this. You drink a little bit, it opened up his mind. That's why the people say you do psamim on by Havdalah, because you're in depression, that you're losing your neshama yisera. You have to open up your mind a little bit. It's a lashon in Hebrew. Oy vavoy. Oy, who's what's the lashon in English?
Whoa. Woe is me.
Whoa, but how do you say it? He is. Lemi medonim lemi siach. Oh, he's here. Seriously. Lemi medonim lemi siach. Lemi ptsoim chinam. Who has bruises? Lemi chachlilu seinoim. Lamachim alayoim. Those who stay late to drink more wine. Laboim lachkom mimsach. To those who come to check out where's the better wine. If you read this pasuk from the beginning to end, you're doing well. And if you read it from the end to the beginning, also you're doing well. In other words, the pasuk asks, who cries? Who's wowing? What's the sound again, Dr. Factor? Who has saras? Whoever drinks. Or you could say, whoever is in pain, he looks for wine. Okay, you can read it from front to back. There's a word in English, a word they could go. Palindrome. Okay, palindrome pasuk.
A man of Plan Canal, Panama.
What?
Man of Plan Canal, Panama.
And how do you say it the other way?
A man of Plan Canal, Panama.
Oh.
That's called an example.
I got it. Wow, we have 4 minutes to finish the Amud. Dorash oiver gilallah. I know. Shloisha asar, we're in wine here. It says a word in Yiddish here, wein. Anybody that knows Yiddish will say, wow. There's 13 times that the pasuk, when it talks about wine for the first time, it says vav yud. Vav yud is vai. Like we say, vai l'chesarin kiss. Like, whoa. It's a lashon of tsar. Nemru b'yayin. Vayochel, here. Vav yud is one. Ishwa adama. Vayita vav yud karim. Vayesh min hayayin. Vayishkar vav yud. Vayizgal b'soich haloi. Vayarchom aviknan. Instead of Vayagel l'shnei Yochel b'chutz. Vayikach shem b'yofes. Now, Taisa points out, I counted it. I don't know why, because I always do. Because you always find some issue. There's 14. So Taisa has already counted it himself, and he says this word Vayofes, Vav Yud, doesn't count. It's the name of a person. Es asimla. Vayosimu al Shechem shneim. Vav Yud. Vayelchu acharenas by Noach. They took their father backwards. They went. Vayichasu servus aviyim. They covered him with pneiim. Vayiketzi Noach meyeinoi. And Noach woke up from his wine. Vayeda. And he realized what his younger son did to him. What did he do? Rabbi Shmuel. Oh, check this out, Dr. Factor. What did the younger son do? And what else? What other shita is there? Oh, and what's the third shita? Just if you came today, you'll know there's a shita that says both, and that's how we pass it. Rabbi Shmuel Chadom Sersa v'Chadom Revoi had relations with him. Or he caused him not to have children. The one that says that he caused him not to have children, castrated him, that he disabled, he didn't allow Noach to have a fourth child. So Noach cursed him with his fourth son. He didn't curse Chum, he cursed Chum's fourth son, who is Canaan. Why? Because he couldn't curse Chum, because Chum was curse-proof, because he was part of the Teva. He had the bracha of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So he cursed his fourth son, Uman Omar Revai, that he had relations with him. Gomar v'yar v'yar, ksivacha v'yar Chum avi Canaan, it's a Gzer Shava. It says v'yar, Chum avi Canaan is Eretz Laviv. What do you do to him? It says by Shechem, by Dina, v'yar oisa Shechem ben Chamor. Look at the end of the pasuk. It says v'yishka v'yisa v'ya'aneh. It's a lashon of inui of relations. B'shleima l'mad Omar Sirsoi mishum hachi kil bervi. Now it makes a lot of sense if he caused him not to have a fourth child, so he cursed him with his fourth child. But if he had relations with him, why did he curse the fourth son? It was actually both. He was Mesarisim and Ravai, and that's why he cursed his fourth son. So Noach planted a vineyard. Hashem tells Noach, you always have to learn, not from your own mistakes, from everybody else's mistakes before you. What caused the whole problem? Wine. The Adam Rishon's first chet was because of wine. Command Omar. Like the man that says, the first tree that Adam Rishon ate from, Gefen. That ate Sadas was Gefen. It was wine, it was grapes. The sign of It was grapes. Daf Yomi Amud Beis. What causes people heartbreak is wine. It was wheat. You need those carbs in order to grow the brain, and that happens from grain. So it was wheat. The thing that he ruined, that ruined Adam Rishon, that's what Hashem fixed him. There's a Givaldik Rashi here. Rashi says, with the hammer that he hits, boy marapa. Shumake boy marapa. Neis betoich neis, k'moy b'yetze eish b'sin. How did HaKadosh Baruch Hu destroy the Beis Hamikdash with fire? Hashem chomes eish saviv. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to bring down the Beis Hamikdash, third Beis Hamikdash with fire. So that's the Mitzvah HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's like the kind of like, since Adam Rishon sinned with the fig tree, so HaKadosh Baruch Hu made him clothing out of the fig leaves. Shenemar v'yispur ali se'ena. We're doing sponsors, turning the daf, shvat, innovations, elsin honor, v'chon press, and official is chos. V'akiv simcha ben fega, shidduch for Rivka Yudis Vasiyaf Chaya, and thank you to Rabbi Stefansky. For Adar Global, experts in international financial services, Yishkoich for the fruit platter. Anonymous, l'schus refus atinu Yecheskel Yididya, ben Nechama Sheindol. Divrei Lemuel Melech Masa Sheyisartu Imoy. This is unbelievable. Rabbi saying, a little different than we're used to. Today we have different shittas and chinuch, we know better. But in those days, when a mother wanted to give mussar to her son, what she do? What happened? Shelaima Melech, his first day as king, he marries this woman and he oversleeps. And because he oversleeps, the key to the Beis Hamikdash was under his pillow. They couldn't bring the tablet that day. His mother was very upset. What are you partying at night? Kilo, like you drank too much wine. She tied him to a beam, and she smacked him. It says in the Medrash, she took off her shoe and she started hitting him to the king. But he's only 13 years old. Ma bri uma bar bitni ume bar nedorai. What does she say? Ma bri. What's this with my son? Everybody knows that your father couldn't produce somebody like you. He's a Yerushalayim. Rabbi said, this thing is already thousands of years old. When you look at your wife and you tell her it's your genes, it's your fault, the kids are like this and like this and like this, it's because of you. It's nothing to do with nobody in my family acts like that. That's you. So she's saying, look, nobody's going to blame David HaMelech on Shelaima. You'll say it's my genes. And so she whacked him good. Uma bar bitni, kol anoshim shel beis avicha. She says, I did something special for you. Once a woman, one of the wives of David HaMelech became pregnant, she didn't have any contact with him. I understood that having relations with David HaMelech later on into the pregnancy would actually help you, and I fought my way in there. Uma, and look what you're doing with that. All that for nothing. Uma ber nedari. This, I learned a tremendous yisoid from here. I knew this yisoid, but it reinforces it. Thank you. Reinforces the yisoid. What does a regular wife of David HaMelech say? Yeli ben Hogel Malchus. Let me at least have somebody that could take over the whole kingdom. Vanina darti, but I did different. V'amarti Yeli ben Zorez Mamula bat Torah v'Hogel Lenevios. I daven Hakadosh Baruch Hu, forget the Malchus. I don't care about Malchus. I care about a son that's a ben Torah. And what happened? This is what I learned from here. That when you ask for the right thing in L'Shem Shamayim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu gives you the other stuff on the side anyways. You ask, I want to be a ben Torah, Hakadosh Baruch Hu gives you the parnasa. You don't have to answer the parnasa. If you waste your time on parnasa, they're not going to get it. They didn't get it. These other women. She tells her son, Bathsheba tells Shelaima, why are you with these kings that are drinking wine? Here's a shmak, a picture. What are you hanging out with these people? Well, the rulers, where's the wine? You, Hakadosh Baruch Hu gave Shlomo Melech such chachma. He knew all the secrets of the world. Doesn't make sense. You're going to get drunk, spill the beans. Everybody comes to your palace. It makes sense that they have all these secrets and they come to you to ask for advice, and you're going to get drunk. How do we know that Shlomo Melech admitted that he did wrong? I'm a bur, I'm a bar, compared to the ish. We'll see in the ish. Ish means noyach. And I don't even have the seichel of the Marisha. So this is going according to the Man Omar Remeir, who says, why did I drink more wine than other Marisha and Noach, which caused them so many problems? So this is like Remeir that says that other Marisha drink wine, not a fig or wheat. You have to eat. This also is another reason why it's never going to happen. You have to have all these conditions in order. Here, this is one of the conditions. Where are we? You have to eat with people like this in order to be chayiv. You can't just have a good time and eat a good piece of meat and drink wine. It has to be srikin. Vanat nan as the Gemara, but if you medayik, it says that if you ate at a wedding, at a bar mitzvah, you don't become a ben tzara moira. She could be medayik, time of the mitzvah. It's only because there was a bar mitzvah there. Holav mitzvah v'gav the lav kul srikin. Let's say you have a suda with a bunch of great people, but it's not a bar mitzvah, and he stole money and he drinks wine and eats meat. He is a ben tzara. Why does he have to eat with these crazy people? Hakamash malon. Here's the chiddush. Daf agav the kul srikin. He's sitting down in a bar. He's in the worst place in the world, somewhere in downtown Manhattan, a terrible place, and he brings meat and wine. He's not chayiv for ben tzara moira if he's mechaven for the mitzvah. He's looking for a mitzvah. The mitzvah ka'asik loy mimshich. It's not going to draw him into it. Ocha be'ibra chodesh. He ate in a sudas mitzvah of ibra chodesh. L'meimer the basar yain masku. So you're telling me that they used to go up to the attic and announce that there was not when they made the Ibra Chodesh, but to announce it and to publicize it. So you think there was meat and wine there? All you bring up there is some whole wheat bread and some beans. Yesterday, I walk into the koil here, and there's a tub of arbus here. I'm like, what's going on here? He says, what do you mean what's going on here? This is Moshe Brzezinski's bar mitzvah last night. I said, I wasn't aware. So they serve arbus? Only by you guys. By the Amerikanische, the modern, they give a piece of meat and chicken. But normal people, we have arbus and some pitzuchim, and you come in, it's like a Shalom Zachar. I was like, sorry, I didn't have a modern and from the Zayla. Okay. So there's no, I said, but time out. When I was a bacher, everybody in my yeshiva had this. All the biggest things have changed since then. People are saving money. They bring a bunch of arbus, and you come in and out. You say Mazel Tov. You sit, you eat some arbus, and he brought the arbus from the bar mitzvah. Rabbi say, you know, was there arbus here last night? Kacha arbus.
He ever should to take it.
Oh, so one of the koil guys comes over. He says, I'm makbid on the chumrah of Rebbe. I forgot who it was. The boss does. He says it says in the Gemara. He used to bring to his wife every he's makbid on that chumrah. Okay, nobody. That if there's any arbus, you're allowed to take home. But anything that has real value, so even though, The people for the Sudas Rosh Chodesh, they're bringing arbas and beans, and he brought up a steak. Given the mitzvah, should we do 3 more lines just to get to the next sugya? Let's do that. In order for this to happen, you need 10 people for the Ibar Chodesh. The meal consists of bread and beans. The day before the Ibur. It has to be at night. As the Gemara, if this takes place at night, it's mamish a contradiction. It says it should be during the day. Like Rabbi Chia said to his sons, go up early. So the Gemara answers, the suit is at night, but go up early and make a whole commotion so people could publicize it. And in the morning, early morning, by nets, leave. That people should hear about it. Rabbi Say, have a wonderful day.